Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp of the Limp, and I'm here with one that I'm sure many of you have been seeing a lot of recently. This is Task Force Admiral. This is a demo that just got released onto Steam. It's by Microprose Games, and they are getting ready to do the Kickstarter for it. And I'm kind of curious. I the Kickstarter is like for the physical edition, but it's a digital game. I don't know. I mean, you get a bunch of physical stuff. That's neither here nor there. If you want, do the Kickstarter, do the Kickstarter. I'm probably just gonna get the game on Steam when it releases, but I don't know. If there's a bunch of cool stuff on there, I might get it. Anyway, this is a strategy game where you control your fleets and you try to go out and find the enemy fleet, sink them, launch your aircraft, manage the whole thing. So you are not like a captain, you are the admiral, obviously, with Task Force Admiral. So you're controlling a group of vessels and different aircraft, different pilots, and you have to send them out on their missions and then obviously protect your own ships. Now, I was going to do this as a blind play review. Like to do that usually where I don't have a whole lot of preconceptions before I come in. That way you guys can see, how hard is the game to learn without, a whole lot of experience and all that. But I do have to put this up front. The game crashed on me. Now, I'm not going to hold that against it too much because it is new. It's a demo. It's not the final thing. They haven't ironed out all the bugs yet. So I don't hold crashes against a digital game very much in their beta stage. Just it did happen and it wrecked my first video. So I've got more experience into this than I would have had otherwise. Now, we are going to be doing, there's only one scenario. There's 4 different sets of scenarios for the game, but only one of them is open. The one is of Cranes and Patriots, May 8th, 1942. It's historical, not hypothetical, so it's based off of an actual battle. Now, having a little bit of experience now, since I have started this, I didn't finish it, but I did start it. You control your task force 17. And let me actually put this out right there at the beginning, just so you guys know. If you want a board game version of this, definitely check out Carrier Battles by Compass Games. In that it is very, very, very similar to what you are doing here in a digital game. So if you are like me and you're into the tabletop war games as well, and you want to try this experience on the table, you can do so with Carrier Battles. Actually, they were just talking about it that it's almost sold out or it has sold out. So definitely try to get yourself a copy if you haven't. They sell quick, and it sells quick because it's a good game. All right, definitely a good game. Now, I won't distract you too much from that, but just an FYI so people know there is a tabletop version of it. But we're going to have Task Force 17. We know approximately where the enemy task force is in its similar towers. It's got a couple of carriers, and I believe it's the Zukaku, the Suikaku and the Zukaku, whichever ones. So it's a couple of Japanese carriers and their sorted vessels against yours, but it's the next day after a previous battle, so you have reduced stores. You don't have a full complement of aircraft available, and you especially do not have enough fighters. So you have to decide what to do with your fighter cover. Are you going to use those fighters to protect your own carriers, or are you going to give escorts to your attackers as they go out? Or are you going to try to split the difference a little bit and see if you can kind of do both? But at that point, you're kind of, hanging the fighters out to dry because this is earlier stage in World War II. So they were flying the Wildcats. They didn't have Bearcats at that time. And those Wildcats didn't stand up as well against the Japanese Zeros as the later Bearcats did. Now we're going to watch through the whole briefing, but this is something that I gotta say I think they really did an excellent job with. Mini war games, they they lack a little bit when it comes into graphics and the extra little icing on top of it, right? That just makes a game all that much better. And they've got this just real footage, real good briefing at the start of the mission. And if they have every mission like this, it's really going to just give you that thematic feel. It'll bring you into the game that little bit much more. And I gotta say, I think they really did a good job with it. So let's go ahead and watch their briefing, and then we'll get into the game proper.
It's early morning on May 8th, 1942. Task Force 17, under the command of Vice Admiral Fletcher, has been roaming the Coral Sea for 7 days in an attempt to prevent a Japanese invasion of Port Moresby. The carriers USS Yorktown and USS Lexington were quite active and successful the day before. The American air groups managed to sink a light Japanese carrier with minimal losses, forcing the invasion force to loiter in fear of facing overwhelming odds on its way around the New Guinean Peninsula. In the meantime, the American carriers were left untouched. Japanese search efforts were rendered fruitless due to a number of mistakes and communication hurdles. Despite being spotted, Task Force 17 managed to escape the attention of enemy air power, as bombers from Rabaul focused fruitlessly on the Anzac Surface Combat Squadron, led by Admiral Crace, standing guard on the road to Port Moresby. As for the main Japanese carrier force, they attacked in droves the oiler USS Neosho and her escort USS Sims, mistakenly identifying them as a carrier force. Realizing their blunder, the Japanese aircraft launched a late afternoon search and destroy attack against the American carriers. Lost in bad weather, they were intercepted by American fighter cover and suffered crippling losses. Plus, to add insult to injury, they came across their target in the darkness on their way home and even tried to land, mistaking the American carriers for their own. But the Americans know that it was far too much luck for one day. Admirals Takagi and Hara are going to be doing everything they can to wash away the humiliation suffered the previous day and show the combined fleet that Carrier Division 5 crews are not to be trifled with. Now, Admiral Fletcher has elected not to send a surface fleet ahead so as not to weaken his protection screen and leave these ships vulnerable at daybreak, a move he will be heavily criticized for in the coming weeks. It's now up to you to decide what to do next. The position of the enemy carriers is estimated to be within combat range northeast of Task Force 17's current position, but no one can predict with any accuracy the moves of the enemy. Enemy opposition is deemed challenging. The Japanese air group's been badly hurt by their ill-advised evening attack hours ago, but they are still going to be packing a punch. Expect to be going toe-to-toe with about 60 to 70 enemy Zero fighters, dive bombers, and torpedo bomber crewed by professionals, some of them veterans of many campaigns. As for the Americans, your own air groups are in good shape, but are still suffering from a low number of available fighters, which will force you to make some tough calls. Should you escort your bombers as a priority, or protect your carriers? It's your job to figure out how to best prepare for the first real carrier-to-carrier engagement of the war. Your objective is to seek out the enemy carrier force, engage it, and inflict heavy damage to force the Japanese Navy to abandon its move against Port Moresby. You're to retire to the south at the end of your operation. Good luck!
All right, so here we are. We're at our main screen. We can finally get into the game proper. Now, when you are looking at your screen here, you've got a plethora of different options, and it's not as intuitive as I would prefer, but it's not overly difficult once you kind of understand what everything is representing. I think this is going to be one of those that it's going to take you a little bit. You're not going to be good at this game right off the bat. You're going to have to figure it out, get a few games underneath your belt, get a few losses before you get things underneath you. Now, let's just start at the top, work our way around. At the top, we've got all our different options that we can select from, things like our strategic map. So if we click here, and by the way, there's a couple of things on the screen you can click to. I can't get out of this now, but let's see. No, like that, it doesn't do it. Anyway, over here, this shows us our map of what's going on. So we see our fleet, where the estimated enemy fleet is. You can scroll your mouse to zoom in and out over here. You can click on the individual vessels to see their status, right? What's going on with them. Their different vitals, so their propulsion, their steering, their ammo, if they've got any damage, fire, flooding, all that is represented over here. So it's nice to be able to keep track of all that information easily when you are under fire from enemy aircraft. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you this right here at the start because I don't want to forget to mention this, because this is a mistake that I made when I first started playing this. And this is why I say it's not quite as intuitive as I would like it to be. You'll see here in a little bit when we start launching search patterns, because we know the enemy's roughly there. But, and something I've seen from playing this a couple of times and seeing others playing it, is that fleet's going to be moving, but you're not going to know where they're moving to. They might go left, they might go right, they might go. They're going to be over here somewhere, but you're going to have to send out a search pattern around that to find exactly where they are. Okay, cool, no problem. The issue arises that when you launch your aircraft, your fleet does what a fleet did, especially in that day and age, which is it turns into the wind to get as much air passing across that deck to give the fighters and the planes best chance to take off, right? You know, airspeed across the deck is more lift for the planes. They can take off. Great. Problem is right now we're heading south. The problem is right now we're heading south. South is away from the wind. So we turn north, with northwest a little bit, but turn northish to launch the fighters. When you launch your fighters, it will plot it on this grid, and you guys will see that here in just a second, of what pattern they're going to go. So they're going to fly out. So they're going to fly out, go wherever they're going to go, turn around and come back. But they plot their return based on the fact that you were sailing north when you launched them. So you see, like, my plotted position. This is where I'm going to be at that period of time, roughly 1:43 in the morning. It's basically midnight now. We can't launch anything into the morning anyway. But this is the rough direction and bearing of our ship fleet. Well, this isn't just a thing of you launch your fighters and they come back to you. They come back to a point. They come back to a specific place on the map. And if you're not there, they've got nothing to land on. And it's not intuitive like that. Like, you would expect that to be pre-plotted, like, okay, the fleet, it might be heading this direction now, but ultimately it's going to be turning back to the south, so you need to meet us to the south. The aircraft don't, though. And let me show you guys, because you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. Strategic map, 3D map. We're not going to worry about going to that yet. We'll go to it here in a little bit. Basically, you go to the world view and you can see your ships and aircraft, all this neat stuff. But it's midnight, so it's black right now. You can't see it. Fleet management board. This right here shows us our different ships. So let me bring this up for now. This is all of our destroyers, our cruisers, and in the middle are our two carriers. You can edit this by clicking edit, and you can click around, right? So you can select different guys, put them on different rings. Like over here on the left side, you see we're selecting around the different groups, and you can put them if you want coverage out far, if you want it closer in, whatever you want to do. However you want to organize your fleet, you can do that. We're not going to change anything right now. This, for the most part, kind of covers our carriers. We've got coverage all the way around. Destroyers on the outside, cruisers on the inside. Cruisers being the more valuable ones when it comes to anti-air fire. So we want those closer to our carriers, so we don't have to worry about changing anything like that. You can do things like create a new combat air patrol zone, so you can set some fighters to circle around you to protect you. We're not worrying about doing that just yet, because again, it's midnight. We can't launch anything but day missions. It's that stage of the war. You've got nothing but day missions. If you've got any fighters up, you can click here, fighter direction, see what's going on with them. Which one is this? Fleet defenses, defensive air ops, fleet information. Again, formation editing. We're not doing any of that just yet. Our flight deck. This is where you can see what we have, and you can select between your different aircraft carriers up here at the top. So, like, here's the Lexington. Our flagship is the Yorktown. And you see the floor capacity. We got 35 out of 60. We are fully operational for our hangar. Storage capacity is 0 out of 20. And it doesn't show anything for storage yet. And I don't know if that means it's not in the game yet or we don't have anything. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that just as of yet. Our different squadrons, you can see them listed down here: dive bombers, fighters, torpedo bombers, all the good stuff. SBDs, TBDs, F4Fs, how many pilots we have, and how many aircraft, right? So we've got generally more pilots than we have aircraft available, but you can only launch the number of aircraft that you have. Again, here at the top, we can switch between our different carriers. If there are any missions going on right now, you can click the timeline with the deck, because when they're launching the aircraft, they are going to have to move these ships, right? These planes are going to have to be moved around to launch whatever you're launching. If you're launching a patrol or attack or scrambling fighters to defend your carriers, certain planes will have to be moved out of the way depending on what they are. So all that's here on our flight deck. We've got squadron, and then binoculars here at the back. We can look around at stuff. But here, let's get, what's the one that I want to do? Not that one. And this is what I'm saying. It's not completely intuitive. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to go to. I think it's here. Air. Okay. I know what I'm looking at. Down here to the bottom right: strike, search, scramble. Strike, if you want to send an attack package, you click on strike. If you want to search for the enemy, obviously search. And if enemy fighters are coming in, enemy bombers, you just hit scramble and they will automatically start scrambling your aircraft. We can go ahead and schedule a search. This is what I was looking for here. Okay. So we know enemy aircraft carriers over here. They've got their little fleets, but we don't know which direction they're going to go. And again, the game's random. It's not they're always going to be to the left or they're always going to be to the right. So you have to search and find them. FYI, make sure you pause if you aren't paying attention, because you don't want to have time just keep going if you're not paying attention to what you're doing. Feel free to pause it, create your searches, and then come back to it later. All right, so we're going to do this from the Lexington. Come on, click on Lexington. There we go. Now, this is our search pattern. So we can adjust the number of aircraft. So you see right now it's just one. If we click two, it divides it. So now those two are going to search those, right? Looking here, the step, that is 45 degrees. So they are going to search 45-degree angle, okay? But you can change that. You can increase it. See how it's increasing the search radius? But if you increase your search radius, you're going to have a harder time finding things. So you want to kind of keep that lower. And the more space that you're covering, the more fighters you're really going to need. Each time you add a fighter, that divides that angle up between those fighters. So now one fighter can look here, one fighter's going to look here, one fighter's going to look here. Or right now I've got it on SBDs, but I've got more of those, so I can use those. And you can see you can just keep dividing that up as much as you want to whatever aircraft that you have. I'm probably just going to launch two and try to find it. I figure this should be enough. And we will cut them down 1,000 feet. That's our start angle. Okay, yeah, you can just click there or mouse it if you want to. I'm just going to try to divide that in two. Search radius. This is how far out it goes. Now you see how it's got that dotted line there? So we can extend that all the way up to its max range. That's as far as they can go. But there's really no need for us to go that far. I doubt the enemy's going to be anywhere near that far out. Generally, they are going to be, from what I've seen of the scenario so far, they start roughly here. They're going to go out in a circle around here, couple of inches as you're looking at it. So if you're covering about this area, you should be able to find them. So I'm actually going to reduce the patrol length just a little bit. Try to give them some more endurance, because I don't think we need to go out that far. Now, again, as we are looking at this, and it won't let me scroll over any farther than that. I can go up and down, but I can't go any farther than that. This shows us our desired takeoff. It's going to be 6. That's the earliest we can do it. Oh, and that actually works. You have to click and hold with the left mouse to move it around. Again, it's not always intuitive as you're looking at it, but you get used to it. You can't launch stuff at nighttime again, so you got to keep that in mind. But we're going to do that. But keep in mind that when we launch our patrol here, they're going to launch from here and they're going to have their radius going out and coming back, and it's going to make kind of a zigzag. Right. The problem is again that their search pattern, they'll have a waypoint that's going to be to the north of where I'm going. So I really need to change the direction of my surface fleet. I don't want them just leaving my fighters out to hang. So we're just going to launch 2 for now. I think that's going to be enough for us to find the enemy. So we will schedule that, and now we will close this off. And I want to change this. I'm just going to leave them as they are, kind of in this direction. They'll turn into the wind. And it's because I've made the mistake, and everyone else I've seen play this thus far has made the mistake that they continue sailing south and launch their patrols, but then their patrols are coming back, and there's no way for them to make it back in enough time to actually catch those guys when they come back. So this is me trying something different, just see how it works, to see if I can save my guys. So we'll hit play. This is also a problem I have found with the game. The time compression does not go high enough because, again, we can only do day missions. We start at midnight, and the fastest this goes is that 120. So it's basically every minute is a second, and we have to wait, right? My guys are sailing to there. I kind of want them to just hang tight. I don't want to really go anywhere with the fleet. Yeah, you guys just kind of chill. They'll turn into the wind. Where are you going now? I know we can right click. We can add a waypoint. We can show contact, show wind, weather. Actually, let me slow that down, show you guys. So it looks like we are drifting. Yeah, we're going 15 knots. So now we're sailing this way. So we'll add a waypoint. Keep them going in this rough direction. Can I add another waypoint? Ooh, here we go. Yeah, let's just do this. Let's just circle around. Wait, nope. I didn't mean to do that. That waypoint. We're just going to circle. You see how it's kind of changing things around. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm just poking around. We're just trying it. We're having fun with it. Now, again, you can show wind. You see winds coming in at that upper left angle. We can see any potential weather. Not a whole lot of cloud cover. See our radar range. We can pick up enemy aircraft coming in up to that range. Our AA is only out to that range. And our main battery is out to that range. So you can show any of those things that you want. Sadly, at this point, all we can do is speed it up and wait. I'll probably have to fast forward through this because we can't do anything until 6 in the morning, right? So I'm just trying to circle my air group around, keep them in the same general area, because again, this search pattern is going to change depending on what direction I'm heading in when I launch. And honestly, there's got to be something that we're missing. There's something that I'm not picking up on and others aren't picking up on. I feel like I'm missing it, that I should be able to adjust them to come in at a certain spot. And I'm not seeing it because you can't change it after they've launched. You can't adjust them to meet you somewhere else. All right. It's only 2 in the morning. It's getting ready to hit 3 in the morning. So we've got 3 more hours of waiting before anything else can happen. This is just, it takes too long. There's got to be a faster speed up time bit because the nighttime, you're just sitting here waiting. if you don't have anything going on, and so you guys can see, let's show you the 3D view. This is zoomed in. You see, we're just looking at the stars. Like, I can't even tell. It's so black. It's so black. And that's got to be clouds. I can't even tell if I'm looking down or what I'm looking at. Feels like I'm looking up. You can't see anything, so you might as well just stay on this screen until it's daytime. Now, daytime, you can see a lot of cool stuff. That's really neat. But until then, we're stuck. So let's go ahead and fast forward. FY, look down here at the bottom. There's a little time gauge scale. And when we are close to things happening, like launching our searches, it will start showing up on this little graph down here at the bottom that's speeding by right now. You'll see that here in a couple hours as we start to approach, because they will start prepping the airplanes at about 5:30 or so. And honestly, I'm just like, why can't you prep the deck now? You see, I'm trying to stay in the same local area because the friendly fighters, when I launch them on their search, I need to be able to pick them up. And I can't figure out a better way to do it than to just kind of circle my fleet so they can be there. Okay. I know I should be coming up on it. Let me check. Because I know I created that deck timeline. It's not showing anything. Wait, let's go to York, Lexington. Okay. Yeah. 0555 spotting, launch, recovery at 9:20. 2 aircraft scheduled. Okay, so we're coming up on that. We are coming up on that. Let's get out of this, go back to this. Okay, and we see it here. Okay, now I can show you guys what I wanted to show you. You see, that's their search pattern. That's roughly what they're going to do. So I need to be here when my aircraft come back. You see right there, it's up to the left, but that's based on what direction and speed and everything my aircraft carrier is going on. And every one of them is going to turn into the wind, right, when they launch their aircraft. But if you're going in a different direction, other than that, your fleet will turn and go back whatever direction it was originally heading, which means you're not going to be there to meet your patrol when they come back. So you have to keep that in mind. I know there's a way to select it so I can see them. Where's the air information? I know there's a way to see this on the thing. Okay, is that it? There we go. Pull this out, the order of battle, air, and click on your search in the queue. That way I can keep this on screen. So you see here, 0920. 9 in the morning, I need to be there. So I need to make sure I'm there. All right, let's speed up and get closer to these guys taking off. It'll start to get daybreak. We'll go ahead and cut the go to that 3D view so you guys can see the deck as they start moving things around and getting all prepped up. This is just the prep. It'll show back up on the timeline when they are launching. Where's my deck view? I was just looking at it. There it is. Ah, look at this. See, they're moving that. They're launching these two. That's my search. Okay, so they're pulling all these planes back so they're out of the way so they can launch those two. So you don't do anything instantly. You have to think ahead. You have to be prepared for later on. Make that choice ahead of time. You can't do things instantly. This isn't like an arcade game where you can launch fighters and just hit the button and they're immediately in the air. It's gonna take you 30 minutes, 40 minutes of game time to actually get those planes up in the air. Let's go to our 3D view. Is it still too dark? Yeah, I think it's still too dark. I can't tell what I'm looking at. Where am I not looking? Okay, here we go. Where are they? below me. Let's go to the fleet. Ah, here we go. So you see this one? This is the Yorktown. Let's go to the Lexington. It's almost too dark to see, but you see they are still moving those aircraft, getting them in place so they can launch them. This is really cool. This is nice. I like this. And the graphics are actually pretty good. Look at that. Look, this beautiful sunrise coming up. You got your fleet sailing around, right? And you can hit the space button, and this shows an overview of what's going on. You can scroll out, but it scrolls real slow, like ungodly slow to pull it out. But you can do that. Hit space, it pulls it back in. Let's go to our map, click our fleet. All right, zoomed way in. Let's pull back up my air operations. Search is going to be there. So I want to set waypoints. Oh, look at that. It changes it up. So they're going to be meeting them there based on what direction the fleet's sailing. Okay, interesting. I'm not going to mess with anything else. We'll just leave them there. Actually, no. I need to cancel one of those waypoints. Can I do that? Remove waypoint. Yeah. Because their search is now way off from where I originally planned it. Way off. Can I cancel some more of these? Let's see what happens if I move that one. Let's see if I move that one. And that one. There we go. That looks better. That's farther back. All right. Yeah, because that shows me launching them here, and then they're coming back here at 9:38. All my moving around kind of got me screwed up. I better hope that the enemy is on the left side. And I think this is going to throw people off because it's thrown me off. The direction your fleet's sailing changes where your search parameters are. So you set up your search, but by the time you actually launch the search and the planes are up in the air, they're not searching the area that you really wanted them to search. And it's like, can I move that? Yeah, see, it gives me a thing. I can't change that. Not flight deck. Where was the search thing? Oh, yeah. It is this. Let's pull this out. Yeah. And see, what I don't like is once I've set it up, I can't adjust it at all. I can launch another search, but I can't change where it's launching from. So where I'm launching from now, they're searching over here when I originally wanted them to go there. But it's because I moved my fleet around, and I'm still trying to figure out like how to get the fleet in a position to launch the fighters and the searchers where I want them to go, while still being in a position to recover those guys when they come back. Because the first way I did it, we're just sailing ahead. They were way behind me, right? And I was going to be 40 minutes late picking up my aircraft. Let's just let it play out a little bit and see what happens. You'll see here in just a second, the aircraft will be taken off. All right, there's my little fleet. Get off of that. It zooms in too much. Go to 3D view. Come on, go into the ground. There it is. Pull this back out so I can get to Lexington. Yeah, these guys should have launched already. It's still dark. Yeah, finally launched it. my 2 search planes are now launched and they're going up. So you see, bam, there's my little search. All right, let's pull this back up. See my search. So now that they are airborne, I have no choice but to be here at 9:42, roughly. So I'm going to select my fleet and let's do some waypoints around. Oh, nope, cancel that. Remove. Let's just see. How close am I? 9:30, 9:42. Yeah, I'll be close. 9:41, 9:42. All right, I'm right there at it of meeting them. Actually, let's see instead if I can cut that one out. Move, and we'll just set it right here. Very close. 9:43. That's the closest I've been to actually picking my aircraft back up. So when I launch them, I have to sail immediately to where they're heading, to where they're supposed to meet me up to be able to recover these guys. There's got to be a way to set it to have some leeway in there. And I thought I set them for endurance, but I might not have. Let's see if we get lucky and find some enemies. Let's pull this down. See, it's telling us what's going on. Find our, we've launched our search planes. We've ceased air operations. My fleet is turning to go in that direction. They're close. Oh, see, look, my time just keeps ticking up. Hold up. Let's pause this for a sec. Let me see if I can get there any faster than I am. Don't go there. Just go straight to home. As close to here as I can get. Does that get me there any faster? That's close. 9:47, 9:42. I'm hoping that's close enough. I can make enough speed to get there. I feel like I'm missing something, right, with the game, because it just doesn't seem like there's enough time to get there. There's got to be something I'm changing with it. But you have to turn into the wind to get them. But you see, it's always going to be a different direction than your fleet's heading that you're picking them up. And it ends up throwing me off. And yeah, see, they're heading out. So one's going to search this area. This guy's going to search this area. They're looking in between them. So if the enemy fleet is kind of in this area, I might get lucky. But there's a chance I might not get lucky. And I'm afraid to launch another search because I have to be there to pick these guys up. And if I launch another search and I don't do it correctly, I won't be in the position to pick up either the follow-on search or this search. So let's just speed up and see what happens. See if I can recover some guys. See if we get spotted. You see, they're out of our visual sight, so we can't see them, but we know roughly where they're at. Am I going to be there at the right time? 9:41, 9:42. Yeah, we're going to be there at the right time. We've made up some time. Ooh, hey, we found them. Hey, okay. I might have let those guys die. Okay. I shouldn't do it, but I gotta try to launch a strike because the video will go long if I don't. Let's do this. Let's launch a strike. And we are going to launch it from the Yorktown. And we are going to launch 9 torpedo bombers and Yeah, we'll launch 15 dive bombers. Give them all the dive bombers. And we will give them an escort. Yeah, because I got other fighters on this plane that I can do. So we'll give them 10 cover. Standard time, offensive power. Let's go endurance. Can I set endurance? Yeah, I can set endurance. And how do I click it? Flight plan. Hold up. Pause before it keeps going. That's the strike. They launch them from there. Mission type, naval attack. Pick target. That's the target. Contact 03. Surface. Okay. They have reported it. Our scouts reported new unidentified surface force. I don't know what it is. It's not telling me, but it is an enemy. If it's yellow, it's neutral. You don't know for sure. If it's red, you know it's the enemy. So I know that's the enemy. So we are absolutely going to launch this. Oh, yeah, my searchers are probably screwed. But I want to launch a strike, so screw them. The searchers did their job. What we will be doing is we'll turn into the wind again to launch. And we are going to be going after that. And let's just go ahead and green light it. All right. 15,000-pound bombs. 8 Mark 13 torpedoes. Why is it? Oh, 9. I didn't click up all the way. We'll launch all those TBDs because those early torpedoes were garbage. You can change your time over here. I want to launch as soon as possible. They've got 10 escorts and what is that? 24 actual attackers. Let's go ahead and green light. All right. So we have launched, or we are beginning the launch. Let me make sure that it's still in the plan. Where is the... it's so hard to keep track of. Okay, naval attack 2. Is that their endpoint? All right, so they will launch. They're going to try to meet them there because they're sailing in that direction. 8 o'clock. And they want to be here by 9:04. I'll probably have to switch my direction to that, but let's just go ahead and do it. I might end up not picking up my search aircraft, but that's okay. I want to show an actual attack. An actual attack. Let's go to a fleet, and we're launching from the Yorktown, and there you go. They're starting to get them all ready, and we're launching 30-some aircraft, so it's going to take them a little while. Yeah, get them all ready. But we were lucky we found them. Come on. Oh, we've been detected. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's the enemy. So now they know where we're at. So it's a good thing I've still got some fighters on the Lexington that I can call up for cover. All right, come on, launch. Launch, damn you, launch. It's taking them a while. They got to get the whole thing up. We're commencing air operations now. Automatically turn into the wind. Come on. Sorry, I am definitely going to be missing those guys. Oh, that's where they're at, or at least where they think they are. So they're going after them. We have launched our strike package. They are heading that way. Now, let's figure out where my package is coming. 923 waypoint. Oh, sorry, search. You guys are dead because I'm not going to be there. I apologize. I don't mean to make you die. All right. Let's figure it out. I know there's a way to have that on screen. I need to have it on screen where they're going to be at the same time. Okay. Let's sail for this. Let's cancel the waypoint. Move waypoint. Add waypoint. And look at that. I'm going just right for it. I think that's going to get greatly reduced. Yeah, that should get greatly reduced as I start getting underway towards it. But I definitely want to meet my strike package rather than my searchers. Sorry, searchers. You guys are probably dead because I'm not going to be anywhere close. Maybe they'll intercept me on the way back because you see, I'm going to be close. I'm hoping we maybe radio them in. Let's go 3D view. And I know I can select them, but it won't let me go towards them. Okay, that's odd. I've been able to do that before. Do I have to select a... All right, how far are these guys? All right, is that my escort? I don't know why it always zooms in so far. That's one of my groups, one of my groups, one of my groups. I want to see how close they are. Come on, please get them. Find them. Find them. All right, let's speed up a little bit, and then I will go to the aircraft. Hold up. Let's actually save. I'll just save as new save. Just in case. Just in case. All right, let's speed it up. Resume original course. Are we going to be 9:56? Supposedly we're going to be way late, which again doesn't make sense to me. It's like I launched them and I sailed directly towards the meeting point and I'm not going to be able to meet my aircraft. That doesn't make any sense. Who the hell are you? Are you just now launching? 2+ aircraft. Is that my guys? Is that my search? Contact. Wait a minute. That couldn't be the search. No, it's way too early for the search to be back. Enemy fighters. No. I don't know who this is. It looked like it was blue, so it should have been mine. And actually, let me do this because it sounds kind of dull. I'd cut the music off. And it's still not playing any music. So, okay, he's way up there, way up there. Okay, this could be bad. This could be bad. Let me... Who's in the front? I think it is... All right, you come up. I think it's my dive bomber section, and I really don't want them getting screwed. Okay. Okay. It looks like that enemy group is just passing on by. Okay, that could be a problem then. All right, let me show you. Let's go back to Task Force 17. All right. That means they know where I'm at. That's 20 plus aircraft. They are coming after me, which means I need to scramble. And can I pick the Yorktown as the scramble? Yep. We're scrambling whatever fighters I've got left because I know there's an air contact coming in at me. I'm hoping my fighters might be able to intercept them. Where is my escort section? I think they're all part of that group. Yeah, 20 plus aircraft, 20 plus. No, they're just 10 plus. Mission takeoff, mission takeoff. Oh, I've only got two carriers, so there's going to be a lot of landing and taking off going on, but I know there's a fighter group coming in at me, and I've got this coming in. All right, let's speed it up. Let's just see what happens. Let the two groups intercept. Look, they're coming in. Come on, get my fighters born. Get my fighters up. Please, let's find it. Oh, that's going to suck. That's right. I'm turning into the wind, which means I'm going to have a hard time meeting my guys, but I got to scramble fighters to protect my carriers because these guys are coming in. Oh, shit. Oh, 20 plus aircraft coming in. No. Oh, what? Oh, I maybe shouldn't have given them an escort because now, unless my escort can intercept and cause them some issues, this is going to be a problem because I'm just going to be lucky if I get my scrambled fighters up, and I don't have many left. I've only got 30 total, and I launched 10, so I've only got to have 20 fighters left to defend against 2 air groups coming in. This could be a problem. All right. We're getting close. We're getting close. I'll slow it down and go 3D view when we get right there at it. All right, there's my... let's say 2. There we go. All right. Come on, fighters. You got to protect me. That's 10 plus. That's 10 plus. Oh, that's another 20. So they've launched some 40 attackers at me, and I've launched 35 at them, but only really 25 roughly attackers, and third of that is torpedo bombers that suck balls. Okay. We figured out exactly where they are. That is good. They've turned up into the wind, but our group, I think, can still catch them. Oh, it's going to be close. Tell me you're going to be in range to see them. They turned up into the wind. Hopefully they turn back south. I don't want my group to miss me. Me turning up to launch fighters actually put me in an interception range with them. All right. All right, here we go. I don't know why there's no music. I cut it off at the beginning, but it's just stayed off. Let me try one more time. Music volume. Oh. And yeah. My apologies. No music. Oh, they're coming in. They're coming in. They're coming in. Yep, they found us. And it looks like my group is going to find them. Where's my search aircraft? Both my search groups are coming back in. They're going to have to go in the drink because we are in for a world of hurt. So I've got a group coming at them. I'm still launching fighters. Mission recovery? No. No. Cancel that.
Romeo, many bandits. Vector 010, 10 miles. Angels medium.
Friendly air signals. Enemy en route to our position. Okay, yeah. That's what I need you dipshits to do. Don't try to land. Come on, scramble more. Get everyone up. What do I have left? And suddenly the music cuts off. running low. I still got some guys still on the air. I don't think my strike did shit all to them. And look, they've got
resume base course. Resuming base course. Aye, aye, sir.
another group coming in. It seems like most of my ships are good. I don't believe I've lost any aircraft as of yet. Yeah, all my ships are fine. But I don't know what's going on with my air coverage. I really need to get another strike in the air. I just don't have enough fighters to cover it. Look at this. They still got fighters attackers all over me. My fighters are doing a good job holding them back. I just don't get it. My strike is like right there. They are right there. Look at that fire, man. Look at it. They just, drowning them. Drowning them. Oh, I want to scramble more fighters. Yeah, quite more. Oh, I've got more. Can I scramble again yet? Nope. I can't scramble. They haven't been rearmed. They have not been rearmed yet. And I think my strike missed theirs, which I don't get because I'm so close to it. They got to be able to see that. It's not that far away. But I think I missed them when they found me. Yeah. Oh, it's so cool though. So cool. Let's go back for a little bit more fleet action before we finish out. Oh, where's my search group? Are they even gonna make it back? Both those guys are still out.
Captain to all hands. Hold on to something. We're commencing evasive action. Engines, all ahead flank. All ahead flank. Aye, aye, sir.
Damn, I'm still under evasive action. I've still got a buttload of enemy aircraft on top of me. My fighters are doing a good job of holding them off. Can I see? I want to know, like, what I have, if I've lost any. But I cannot tell. It would help if I remembered what the full complement was, but I really just don't know. I can't tell by just looking at it if I've lost any aircraft or not. I've got to have lost some, but I can't tell yet on it if I have. All right. We will go ahead and pause here. I will pause the video, but that gives you guys an idea of what's going on here with Task Force Admiral. And this reminds me of combat. It's long periods of boredom with short periods of very intense excitement as everything goes to shit. In this case, and this is where you can tell I'm inexperienced with the game, and I'm not a Navy guy, I'm a Marine. I'm used to hooking and jabbing on the ground. but I did not do a very good job of launching my strikes and my fighters. I believe the enemy was able to discover my location and launch an attack much quicker than I did. Thankfully, my scramble fighters keeping enough back seems to have been enough to hold them off. But you got to consider they've got me on the back foot now because my scramble is only going to last for so much longer. I'm still fighting off a big group of aircraft, and now there is two in there and 20 there, so 25 plus aircraft coming in again that I'd have to fight off after just fighting off the first group. It'd be one thing if my group got in and was able to damage them, because then I would be able to slow down their attacks. But if they damage me, then I'm screwed, right? The goal, just like it was in World War II, is to get in there and get that big hit on an aircraft carrier. Because if you did, the amount of firepower that you take out of the enemy's hands is massive. And this game gives you that really, really intense game of cat and mouse. It is great. It is so great. Now, things that I would like to see changed or adjusted, it would help, I believe, if you could make easier adjustments. Like here, I can move my waypoints, right, with my fleet, and that's very easy. But when it comes to your aircraft, you can't really do that. And I get that to a point, right? That when you've set up whatever it is that they're doing, you're not going to be able to fully adjust them. But I think there should be some adjustment. We did have radio communications, we could talk to our aircraft. So, not just free, you can adjust their waypoints, whatever, but being able to move them a little bit, adjust them, like after you green light a plan, being able to move it a little bit, to give yourself a little bit more freedom there. Because I set up what I wanted my search to be. Now I got lucky because the enemy fleet was right where I was searching, but had they been over to the right instead of the left, I wouldn't have found them, right? And I didn't launch my search that way. My search was supposed to be much farther to the left, and I think it shows you to an extent where your search pattern is going to be versus where you're actually going. But there needs to be a little work there, or make it more intuitive, easier for you to understand where your fleet is versus where the aircraft are actually going to be, because it's not extremely easy to understand that. I still don't get it. I understand there's a difference because you're not just launching them immediately. There's that very big time delay between the time that you launch and or you plan it and then you actually launch. So it's not going to be exactly where you plot it, but if you do anything right. So here I had to take evasive maneuvers and I had to scramble aircraft, which caused me to turn into the wind. There's got to be some type of adjustments that can be made so you're not always worrying like I've got to sail exactly in this direction to pick up my aircraft. But you do have to, be there for you guys. I just think there needs to be an easier way to kind of see where your aircraft are going, how you can get them back, how you're controlling everything. It's all being done with the menus, and I understand that it's going to be complex because you've got a lot going on here, but the menus aren't as easy to understand as I would like them to be. Like I'm looking up here for this information that's down here, like the search thing. Like, okay, that's down here. I want to maybe have that also up here, something along those lines. I don't know. I will say, after getting hands-on time with this, it is extremely fun, extremely tense, and you get very, very excited when you find the enemy. You're able to make contact. You're nail biting, like, please have my team, my group. Where's my fighter group up here? My air contact that I launched, not my search, but that one. There at the end point, I think, of their waypoint. I can't even see where they're at just yet, but I know they're going right about there. I miss the enemy fleet. I would like to be able to radio them like, my search planes know they saw them. They know they're here. Let me adjust their path just that little bit so I can get on top of them. I'm right there. I'm a hair's breadth away from them. I want to have my fighter group hit, because if it doesn't, I'm screwed, because now they've got to come all the way back. They've got to rearm, refuel, do all that. And I'm doing this now while under attack from 60 some odd aircraft because they've launched everything. The game, though, it's honestly, it's a blast. If you're a World War II aficionado, if you're like me and you like the Pacific Theater, this is a must buy. It's must buy. All right, it's great. It's complex. It's going to be. There's no way to have the Pacific Fleet game not be complex. It's either going to be arcadey to the point of being unrealistic, or it's going to be realistic and it's going to be extremely complex. This one is realistic, so it's extremely complex. But I think that's what most board gamers are going to want from a good Pacific Fleet game. And especially, oh dear God, if you put in the ability for me to control a plane, I cannot wait to get into a dive bomber and just, nose down, looking for that big red zero to drop a bomb right on top of them. That's going to be the most awesome thing. I think when you actually get into the aircraft and drop it, or hit the enemy fighters, people are going to go nuts for that stuff. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Yeah, Task Force Admiral, it's awesome. It's freaking awesome. The graphics are good. But honestly, you're not going to spend, I believe, much time here in this screen, right? This looks cool, right? Being able to see everything that's going on. Let's go to a scrambled fighter. So it's quieter. It looks really cool, but the amount of information and access that you have to the controls and stuff, it's very minimized here. So you're not going to spend very much of your time here. If you're good and you don't get spotted, you can spend more time there when you're using your aircraft to attack the enemy. Hopefully you'll spend more time there. But I think this screen, this is going to be your bread and butter. This is where you're going to spend most of your game. And then you'll pop into the 3D view when you get a chance. All right, I'm going to cut it here. You guys stay tuned as there's more coming out from Task Force Admiral. I will definitely cover more of it. But yeah, it's freaking amazing. It's outstanding. It's great. Getting this battle going on, the tense dogfight, the escort. I think, honestly, I'm sitting here thinking about it. I think I did right having just a few aircraft. I might have cut that back a little bit. Maybe only send 6 or 8 fighters and just keep more back here in the rear to guard for my my aircraft carriers. But so far, they've done a good job. The Scramble did a really good job of holding off that first attack wave. I haven't taken any damage that I've seen. So I'm still in the fight. I might be able to pull this one out. It's still to be determined. I wouldn't bet on me right as yet, because they've got another big fighter group coming in here to attack me, and it looks like my strike missed them. But I think I might be able to squeeze it out. All right, we'll cut it here. You guys stay tuned. I'll cover more of it as soon as I can. Y'all take care. Catch you in the next one.